What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're here for episode number 10 of My Team Career Mode. This time around it is the Austrian Grand Prix. I know what you guys are thinking right now. We are literally only days away from F1 24 being released, and we're literally just approaching the halfway point of this championship right now. I know it's a pain in the ass for me and for you guys to because I really want to get this season done before I start uploading F1 24 videos, but at the same time, really, I'm in a tough spot at the moment. I literally don't know what to do at this point, but all we can focus on right now is F1 23 because F1 24 hasn't been released yet, so we can only focus on what we're doing right now. So, if you guys haven't seen the last episode, make sure you go check it out. It's in the top right hand corner of your screen right now, or the link will be in the description below. So, as you can see, Checo DNF'd, did not make it to the checker flag last time out, and he has now gifted us the championship lead. That is something that I didn't quite expect would happen at this point in the series. 9 races down, heading into race number 10, and we are championship leaders. So there is a little bit of pressure on us now to make sure that we stay at the top. So as you saw there, I think there was an MGK or H that failed, that didn't get on the car for the Austrian Grand Prix, but that upgrade has energy cells. I think that's an energy recovery system upgrade. That's going to be very handy because we'll be using a fair bit of our battery throughout most of the lap, or on the 3 straights, because it is very much a power track, low wings. Also this weekend is a sprint race weekend, so we are heading into qualifying for the sprint race. Now I was a little bit worried going into this weekend because I don't know, I just can't seem to get my head around this track at the moment, because with all the upgraded bumps to the circuit, the upgrades to the curbs, because the car doesn't quite behave quite as nicely to my liking, going over the curbs, especially at turns 1 and 2, and just try and take the esports line. The car just doesn't quite isn't quite to its liking at the moment. So after our first lap in Q3, or Q1 I should say, we ended up in 10th, but I wasn't overly confident that that we'd get through. So but also what I'm doing is I'm trying to get Mark a nice slipstream all the way around the lap, because he's in 17th at the moment, and I'm not convinced that he will get through on his own. So here we go into hot lap, and we're going to give Mark a nice slipstream all the way around the lap, as long as he doesn't get too close to us. So as you saw, going through turn 1, I sort of struggled a little bit there. In the old games, I used to absolutely go full send over those curves. So as you can see, we're going to slow down and give Mark the rest of the lap. But he slowed down as well, did he? That looked really awkward, and we just blocked the Mercedes of Hamilton. And as you can see, Mark did not even get out of Q1. Did he slow down? Oh no, we'll have a look at his lap time. We were safe in P10. So it was a personal best through the first sector, near on 2 tenths, but he's lost 8 tenths in that middle sector. So my guess is that he did slow down going to Q2, and that really annoyed me. Because I don't know why he slowed down. He knows I'm trying to give him a slipstream, but why did he slow down in the first place? Whoa, that's a moment. Starting our flying lap, that is not ideal. You saw we were wide at turn 9 and tried to get back onto the normal racing line for turn 10. So that wasn't exactly it. And another reason why this track probably doesn't suit me quite as much, because turn 9 and 10 are so close to each other, it's sort of hard to take the ideal racing line from the exit of 9 to get yourself ready to turn in for turn 10. So it's a bit of a mystery for me, to be honest, because I'm trying to put in the fastest lap that I can, as well as trying to stay within track limits. So final lap in Q2, and we're going to see if we can get our car into Q3. So that first lap was on a set of soft, or a new set of softs from Q1. So this is a brand new set that we've got on. Getting a nice slipstream also from Albon, so I hope that does have a little bit of an effect. How much of the track do we use on the outside? Not quite enough. We hit our apex nicely at turn 4, and we're going to see, this is another part of the track where I do take the esports line, hit the apex, okay, but don't quite get to the outside. Don't use all of the track. Car's a little bit sideways, so the car is just a little bit unsettled at the moment. And so here we go into 9 and 10 at the absolute limit. That one was okay, probably a little bit outside the white line, and probably not using as much of the curve at the inside of turn 10 like I would have liked. But we go P9, now we've dropped down to P10. We are not safe at the moment, and at the end of our laps we get knocked out in Q1, and Albon parked it right on the racing line, forced us off. Probably didn't matter, everybody was heading back to the pit lane anyway. But at the end of it all, we have finished up in 13th place. And to be honest, we went that far off, less than a 10th between Ocon in 10th and us, or Kevin Magnussen actually. So K-Mag's just over a 10th there, so really there's not a lot of time between us and getting into Q2. And so my fear of struggling a little bit has actually come true. So we've got our work cut out for us this weekend. So all we can do is try and stay with the group of cars ahead, and at least try and bank a point or two. If we come away with a point from the sprint, then I will absolutely take that. But before we do, we finished up our practice runs, and now we are getting all the extra resource points that we've got. So unfortunately we didn't have much to play with, or we've already done our resource spending. So now I'm debating what engine components I want to use, but I think we'll keep those components in for the sprint so we can keep them fresh for the main Grand Prix.
So it's all about speed in today's sprint, not very many laps and no chance to get ahead on strategy. Who here today has the raw skill to take them to the top? Unable to get a clean run, that's got to have some effect on their confidence, surely.
Certainly confidence is an important factor. And every time you're involved in an incident, it's not just the car you damage, but that confidence as well. But all the top racing drivers are able to tune that out when the race gets underway and focus on the job at hand.
Alrighty then, let's go sprint racing then, shall we? It should be a simple medium tyre run to the end. Is there a choice to go softs? However, I'm not sure, because the only concern for me will be tyre. So I think the safe option is just to go with the medium tyres. Let's see if we can get home a point. 5 red lights, and away we go. Fairly long hold there, I must say. But we do get a good initial launch over Gasly. We're onto the grass at one point, but there's nowhere for us to go. He opens up the outside, and we try to get the better run, but we can't. We're not able to do that at the moment. Someone else is on our inside. It's Albon, but he'll have the beneficiary, and he'll have the better run. Now everyone's going to be stacking up here. We're going to go up the inside of as many cars. We get up as far as the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz, I think it is. But, geez, we navigate that. Okay, and we get through for P9. P11, sorry. Actually, it was Leclerc that we got up to. Now he and Ocon are side by side as we start lap 2 of this sprint. We're going to try and get the better run, and we're just unable to do that at the moment. However, we've got a bit of an overtake to utilise. We're going to try and get both Leclerc and Ocon. Ocon goes defensive. We try and clear Leclerc, and we're going to switch to the inside line, and we're going to get a nice run over Esteban Ocon, and we're going to take P9 for the taking. Alonso and Perez are the next cars. Do we have the pace to catch up with those two cars? We'll find out in the next few laps. Here's a quick replay on board with Carlos Sainz. We've got such a good run, taking that wider line, I suppose, and we just took off like an absolute rocket ship. I must say. But somehow, Ocon got back ahead of us, and we're going to try and fight again with Leclerc and Ocon. We're going to go spearing around the outside, and job done. Very nicely done. Now, those two were outside in 1 second. We got another dose of DRS, and so we can use that to good advantage to get away from those behind. Here's a good group. The two Mercedes and not on a Piastri, or so I should say Verstappen tries to get both the Mercedes. Hamilton gets through. He now goes side by side with Russell Verstappen, that is, and he's going to try and at least get one of the Mercedes, and he does. Or does he? Russell comes back into turn 3, but Verstappen does get the better run, and Verstappen prevails. So he's got one of the Mercedes. He can now catch the other Mercedes. Verstappen, he really has struggled, I must say. We have not seen yellow flag. We have not seen the Verstappen who has spun. How does that make sense? I don't know. But Verstappen has spun at turn 3, and he's brought out the safety car at the halfway point of this sprint race. I was just about to say, we've not seen the Verstappen that I think we probably should be seeing, but it looks like he gets on top of the curve, doesn't he? And he just has a lazy spin. On board with Max. Oh, Russell made a big mistake. I reckon they kind of checked him up, and maybe he got a little too eager on the throttle, trying to get the better run perhaps. I reckon that's probably the case. And so, therefore, I'd quickly decided to bring out the safety car, but a few laps later, we get ready to go racing again. So now with Verstappen's mistake, we are now scoring a point. Top 8 get points in this sprint race at the moment. And we're looking at the Alfa Romeo of Zhou Guanyu, who's losing positions. He's pulling off out of the race on the restart, mind you. So Zhou, at the restart, back to live pictures, we go racing. I wonder what's going to be said about that. Are they just going to throw local yellows out, or are we going to get another safety car, or at least a virtual safety car? We tried to defend Leclerc, but we got up the inside of Perez and Alonso. Contact was made. Safety car is called out again. So I reckon the FIA have seen what I did, and they go, no, we've got to clear that Alfa Romeo, so we're going to throw another safety car. But the very next lap, that was very quickly dealt with, and now we can set up after Sergio Perez for an extra point or two. Piastri is in P5, he might be gettable, who knows? But we've made our opportunities work so far in this sprint race. 2 laps to decide what we're going to do. Do we have a lunch, or do we come home and bank the 2 points that we currently have, avoiding Perez, who in turn forces us off the track, but we're going to have to give that place back if that was a legal overtake. No DRS for the remainder of this race. Here comes Alonso, trying to go around the upper inside. We've got it deep, trying to go around the outside of Perez, at the same time trying to defend off of Alonso, but Alonso gets us. He sets his sights on Perez. Leclerc tries to go around the outside. There's contact between us and Leclerc. We've avoided damage. Time pressures are getting up there a little bit as well. Last lap, got to defend from Leclerc. The AI are going to be mega fast on this last lap, so we've got 2 straights to defend P8 and bring home a point. But to be honest, that move that we made on Checo was probably a bit of a silly mistake, to be honest. But at the front, Lando Norris, he's sick of so many second placings, is now going to get a victory in Formula 1. It's not an actual Grand Prix, it's a sprint race, but a win is a win, one would say. And we come home for a point, a vital point, that'll help us in the Drivers' Championship. We did lose 2 points to Sergio Perez. We came into the weekend with a 13-point gap. It's now been reduced to 11. But I tell you what, if that was an actual Grand Prix, it would have been a little bit worse. It would have been, the gap would have been into single figures. So Webber goes from 20th to 14th. That's not a bad performance. Can he get that car into the points? I'm hoping that he can, because I tell you what, he's got a few races left until driver contracts negotiations come up. But well, I do hope that he can bring home some points. Because if not, he may decide that he doesn't want to race with the team, or we might decide to kick him out. Who knows? But now, with the Grand Prix upon us, we're going to take out the turbocharger and the MG UKs, which are almost, or are going to hurt us for straight line speed. But now we can use the fresher components for the main race.
Good afternoon and welcome to Spielberg, and to a circuit that in one form or another has held every Austrian Grand Prix in the championship except the very first back in 1964. It was at this race that John Watson lost a bet and his beard when he took Team Penske's only F1 victory in 1976. If anything, the stakes are even higher today, with 25 points available for victory and a crucial advantage in the championship fight. The Spielberg circuit then is situated 700 metres above sea level, with just 10 corners making up one of the shortest laps of the season. One time around here is a distance of around 2.6 miles, with the best overtaking chances into turn 1 or the tight uphill of turn 3. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position. And starting next to them is George Russell. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Oscar Piastri, Perez, Fernando Alonso, Skip, Leclerc, Ocon, Stroll, Norris, Gasly, Albon, Webber, Bottas, Tsunoda, Sargent, De Vries, Hulkenberg, Verstappen, Magnussen, and Zhou Guanyu.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
And don't let me down too, Mark. Alrighty then. New components in, or fresher components in, and we are going to try and bring home some more points. That is simply the aim. We're going to have a bit of an aggressive strategy today. We're going to go soft and mediums. I think others are going to go medium hard, so we could potentially have the option to go longer if we wanted to. There is a little threat of rain towards the end of the race, but I'm hoping that does stay away and we're going to have a nice dry race. Let's go racing in Austria. Good initial line. Piastri did not get away at all. He was on the soft tyres. Wow, very cautious on the run into turn 1, and Piastri stays ahead of us. So despite that little bog down, he stays ahead of us and we hold position. But can we hold position against Leclerc, who gets a mega run at us? So straight line speed isn't our friend at the moment, but we're somehow starting on the mediums. I thought we were going to start on softs, but we're starting on the mediums. So maybe we could decide to go softs for when we make our stop, but we stay ahead of Piastri, so we're up one spot, or are we? Piastri comes back at us. So, oh my god, I don't anticipate this as we go wide through turn 6 and around 7 and 8 we go, but I didn't anticipate that Piastri would go back up the inside. The runs that the AI have been getting, and just their speed down the straight is like almost non-competitive. Meantime, fighting going on up ahead between Perez, I think that's Carlos, Alonso and Piastri. We've touched Piastri's diffuser, but now we're going to set it up the inside and we're going to make sure that he doesn't get back at us as we go into turn 5. And he is, oh my god, what is that speed of the McLaren? Every time, and I'm going to say this, every time I think the move is done at 4, it's not. So we're going to have to come up with something better than that. But side by side, Checo just lost 2 places there. He started that trend in 3rd. He's now going to go as far as 6th, and Alonso is going to be the beneficiary. He's going to lead the pack down towards turn 4. Unbelievable. And Perez goes from 3rd to 6th in the space of about 20 seconds, let's say. And there goes Sainz, looking up the inside of Alonso into turn 4, but trying to get the better run, but we can't. We've been unable to do that every time we get boxed in. But we've given Carlos a bit of a boost, He gets ahead of Alonso. Alonso fights back, which is going to hold stations for a second. Carlos parks it on the apex. We've touched his diffuser. But these guys squabbling is allowing the Mercedes to get ahead. It's a Mercedes 1-2. So they're fighting amongst themselves. While we're fighting viciously to get up into third. So we seem to be in a better spot at the moment. Now we're going to lunge up the inside of Alonso into 4, and please make sure that we stay ahead. And he's a little too far back at the moment. So right now we've got ourselves into an okay spot. We're now trying to catch the Mercedes team radio.
Okay, Russell's ahead, and gap to the car in front is 3.5 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 8 laps old. We think they've got one.
I'm going to have to interrupt you there, Mark, because we've got a red flag right now. And as you saw in the minimap, there was a little bit of a pile-up, I wonder. So on board with Norris, who tries to lunge on Stroll, and that resulted in contact and getting spun round. On board with Mark Webber, our teammate, almost three wide there briefly. There's the contact, and here comes the rest of the pack. And that's Verstappen, I believe, who's caught up in that. So that's the reason for the red flag. Why didn't all the other cars just go off the track just to avoid that accident? Honestly, I think that AI are programmed to cause these red flags, honestly. So the suspended lap was on lap 9. The race restart will be on lap 11. Now, the strategy suggests that we go hard and we take them to the end of the race. The only concern with me doing that is that I'm hoping that everyone else is on the hard tyres. Could we run mediums to the end of the race? However, they'll be at like 90%. They'll be literally dead by the time we get to the checkered flag. So I don't think that's going to be the way to go. I think hards will be the way to go. I hope that everyone else is on hards. 2 seats on softs, probably not worth it. We need a safety car to do that. So hards is what we're going to go with. It's brought us towards the Mercedes 500 lights, and away we go for take 2. Hamilton goes nowhere. Russell gets the jump. We get the jump over Lewis, and Russell will lead into turn 1. Hamilton tries to fight back. He can't. Starts 4th, Perez 5th. Everyone else behind us will just jockey for position. Now this is an important phase that we stay with Russell. Do I feel like we have a quick enough car at the moment? I don't know. But a few laps later, DRS is enabled. We've dropped the cars behind. It's 5.7 from us to Alonso. Nice fastest lap with DRS. Holding stations at the moment. I could have thought about a lunge into Russell at turn 4 on that occasion, but I decided not to. But we're going to go for a lunge now on lap 17. He defends the inside. We're going to try and do the switchback, but Russell made a mistake which prevented us from doing that switchback. But now DRS open, we're close enough for a move into turn 4, and this time we've got the inside. There's contact between us and George, but the move is made and we're up into the lead of the race. So now the Mercedes can fight amongst themselves, and whilst we try and streak away outside of 1 second, Albon is now out of the race. Those clouds are getting bigger and bigger every second now, which I'm not overly impressed about. Geez, we've gone deep into turn 3, but we somehow got such a good run. But as we made that mistake, rain is visible on the halo. As Hamilton tries to go up the inside into turn number 1, can't do so. When we've taken that wider line, I must say, we've gotten the better run than the Mercedes. But here they come. We're not using our overtake because I'm holding back, because the detection point is before the apex of the corner, and we're going to try and get a good run over Hamilton, but we were a little too eager on the throttle. We didn't quite get the traction that we wanted, but we're still close enough for a move into turn 1. Well, Lewis went a little bit later. We slide him into the corner and we hold him up high so he doesn't get the switchback going. A few laps later, we are still fighting away with the Mercedes, but we hold back for DRS. And can we try and get the better run? No, I think Lewis got the better run. We're going to use a fair bit of our overtake. We've got plenty of it. And we're going to try and dive back up the inside. No, we're going to go to the outside. We've gone in very deep. That was not a smart move, I must say. And George got the better run. There's no point in trying to fend him off because we don't want to be causing an accident and getting outside of 1 second of Lewis. That's not the way to go. So we're going to have to be patient for a little while longer on board with George. He would have been very happy when he saw me make that mistake. But at the moment, the track conditions are getting worse. I mean, the rain isn't falling that heavily, but the track conditions are slowly getting worse. So the lap times are dropping all the while. Sonoda is out of the race with technical problems, I must say. Yellow flags still at a turn 1. That's where he's parked. Oh, did Russell overtake under yellow? Did he overtake under yellow? Gee, that was tight. But he's got DRS. We've got DRS. We're going to try and just stay back. I really enjoy doing that move, trying to stay back for the detection point. But unfortunately, we did overtake off the track, and we are going to have to give that place back, unfortunately. So we're just going to hold stations. And as you can see right now, if you look at the track is slowly but surely getting wetter and wetter. So we are not far away from DRS being disabled and a change to intermediate tyres. Nice switchback on Russell there. But with us squabbling this hard, we're not losing a huge amount of time to the cars behind. So that's probably the one thing. Red flag is out again! For the second time in this race, we've got another red flag. What's it for this time? I wonder. Alfa Romeo of Bottas, he spun the car on heavily used, is that softs that I saw there? On board with De Vries. Yeah, he's just spun. And De Vries, he doesn't want to go on top of the curb and just overtake him. And yes, it is softs that Bottas is on. Maybe they were like really used softs, I wonder. And he's wedged he's wedged between the track and he's spinning the rears, but it's no good. The car is wedged, so that means that we are going to have to change a set of tyres, which we will take, and it's a set of intermediate tyres. So over the course of the time, the track's got really wet, which means, or damp enough for us to use a set of intermediate tyres. And away we go. And the Mercedes got the better jump than us, and they're going to lead. It's 3 wide into turn 1, but we somehow stay ahead of the Mercedes. How did we survive that? Perez is now invited into the party. Our championship rival has been brought back into this as well. Now,
okay, the rain should be ending shortly. The dry line's going to come in quickly, so don't waste any time getting back up to speed. Inters seem to be the fastest tyre for now.
Okay, so the rain isn't going to stick around for very long, but we do have a lot of battery to play with, so we could use that in trying to get away. And right now, the rain has stopped, and DRS very quickly is enabled. So that is very interesting, but we didn't complete 2 laps of racing, so that's interesting. We've gone off the road, we've gone deep into turn 2, and that invites Hamilton to take the lead of the race. Is that a costly mistake? Here comes Checo on the run down to turn 4. There's contact between us and Checo. We dive up the inside of Lewis, not forcefully, but we did have a track. There was contact between us and Checo. We couldn't stop the car. We ran into the side of Lewis's side pod, but Lewis somehow stays ahead of us there. How did we all survive that? Few laps to go. It is on for the race lead with only a few laps to go. Here comes Checo into 9 and 10. Can he make it stick? We give him the space. We go off the track and we stay in second. We go a little bit wide at the edge of the 10. 3 laps to go now. Boy, what a race. Now we're the ones that got DRS, and now Checo is side by side with Russell. Russell tries to go up the inside to get onto the podium. He can't. But now Sainz, Piastri, Alonso, Norris, Leclerc, they're all involved. in this battle. Unbelievable scenes. Norris makes it 3 wide. He's almost made contact with Piastri. But Norris is in this fight now. He's trying to get some extra positions after winning the sprint. Here's a replay from us. Oh, yeah, there was contact between us and Checo. We lost control of the car momentarily, and that forced us to drive into Lewis's side pod. On board with Perez. We probably did go into his side pod a little bit, but jeez, I think we probably did move across. Hamilton defending into turn 1, 2 laps to go now. Jeez, what a race this has been. Crazy battling. 2 red flags, and now we're going to take the lead. Heading up towards turn number 2. But Hamilton's too far back to play DRS games. So now Lewis is going to get DRS, and he will as we start the final lap of this race. Into turn number 1. Is Lewis going to be close enough for a move into turn 2? Or are we going to play DRS chicken up to the line? We've got plenty of battery to utilise, so we can do that while we wait for Lewis on what he's going to do. We defend the inside, but Lewis was behind with the detection point, so he's going to have DRS. Sergio Perez gets involved in the mix, but he can't do anything. He lost a little bit of traction, but that move means that we have survived the final attack from Lewis. The track is literally bone dry right now, and boy, we've survived 2 red flags, and we've survived the final attack from Hamilton. It's another win for us.
Guys, thank you so much. You've been great all weekend. To everyone back in the factory, on the pit wall, you've been amazing.
Well, what a thrilling end to an incredible Grand Prix weekend. Our top 3 finishers should be incredibly happy with what they were able to achieve out there today.
Well, I reckon we pulled a bit of a rabbit out of that there, to be honest. Honestly, I don't know how we managed to win that. I didn't think our pace was going to be good enough for the whole race. I thought, maybe a top 5 or a top 6 finish. I'll take that as long as we don't lose 280 points to Sergio. But another win, and I think about 11 points gained on Checo in the end. So I will absolutely take that 100%. Boy, oh boy, I think this race pretty much had everything. Insane racing, 2 red flags, wet weather, dry weather, and a sprint race as well. So that pretty much wraps up the whole weekend for me. Unfortunately, the same could not be said for Mark. He comes home for 15th and no points. So I'm doing all the heavy lifting at the moment. So our gap was 11 points at the end of the sprint. It is now 22 points as we go into Silverstone. But now I can say this with absolute certainty. I think we are going to struggle a bit more at Silverstone because it's always been a bit of an AI circuit, Silverstone. So I don't think it probably does suit my racing style a little bit because I do like fast flowing corners. But I think Silverstone is probably a little bit more technical, if that makes sense for me. So let's say like what would you say? A circuit that probably suits me. I do a lot of laps around Zandvoort, Spain, those kind of tracks that sort of like long flowing corners. I don't think Silverstone quite has that much. I think Jeddah probably suits me a little bit more, but the only thing that troubles me is the curbs around Jeddah. And the curves I struggled to get right the whole weekend, to be honest. 9 and 10, trying to be absolutely on the limit. Turn 1, just trying to make sure that the car is settled. Okay, I think that was probably the biggest aim for me this race. And to be honest, I probably wasn't happy throughout the whole weekend. I mean, I had to make several adjustments in the race just to make sure that the car can get to the end, if I'm being totally honest. But we got the car to the end. It's all I can ask for. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed that video, please give it a massive thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you wanted to see plenty more F1 and racing game content and F1 24 content which will be around the corner, but I'm trying to get this season done before I upload any F1 24 gameplay videos. But guys, until the next one, enjoy your day, and I'll see you next time.